Alright people, what's happening? Welcome back to another F1 2020 episode here on the channel. Of course, you can see the calendar thing on the left hand side there. We do have the Chinese Grand Prix coming up in this episode. A lot of little events in between that. We've got a good few research and development things coming back to us. Obviously we did have a lot set up for the last episode and pretty much all of them came back failed, and I don't know how. Like, it was 40 or 30% chance of failing, which is still quite low. Obviously it's not even above 50, and all of them failed pretty much. So yeah, but firstly I do want to go across to this. If you go to the corporate tab and go across to the contracts tab, you can buy perks. As you can see here, you can just throw in some cash into these little perks. Now what I did want to do is get the media coaching perk, because I have done a few like press conference things or like interviews where answers have been locked. So we are going to purchase this, and hopefully like that will improve our chances of saying better things in the interviews. I also do want to purchase this perk. Resource point income will be boosted by 10%. Because obviously resource points are what you develop or what you invest into the R&D tree. So that is exactly what we want to get. And you know what, we may as well buy the other two while we are here, while we're in a spending mood. Get the social media team up and the power mapping perk up. We may as well while we're in the mood for spending money. I'm not sure how you get your secondary drivers perks up. That is something that I do not know at this current moment in time. But let's advance into the calendar and see what we get back. Let's see, the ignition system you see there has worked, and we do have an invitational event, a checkpoint challenge. I'm not too sure what this is, but we get 1,000 driver acclaim and 150 grand for doing it. So we are going to go to this invitational. I think you've got to set like a certain time on the lap or something, a certain lap time on the Netherlands here. I'm not too sure about this. Obviously, I've never done an F1 career mode before. I've never came across anything like this, so let's see what it's going to challenge us with.
Welcome to today's invitational event, where some of the world's finest drivers will be treating us to a special exhibition of some of the sport's most iconic cars.
Okay, so we have to go from a rolling start and race around the track to cover the target distance before the time runs out. Time limit is 35 seconds. Let's see what we have in store. We're in a Red Bull car here, a classic one. There's no halo on it, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see what we can do here. The Netherlands Grand Prix is not one that I have done before. Whoa, the handling on this car is crazy. It's so responsive going into the corners. Yeah, hopefully we can complete the distance in the time that it has given us. I feel very low to the ground here. Yeah, like I say, I haven't done the Netherlands Grand Prix yet, so I'm not familiar with this course at all. Oof. Let's see, you in the top right there, we've got to cover 7.8 kilometers so far. Have we done one lap yet? I don't even know when we've done two, but it looks like it will be an easy distance to cover. DRS zone activated there. I don't even know if this car has DRS. It's a very old looking car, this. Weird that we have been invited to a Red Bull event, obviously being our own team in the F1 with a Honda power unit. Maybe there's that Honda link between us and Red Bull. So obviously Red Bull are running off the Honda power unit as well. I feel like I'm going rapid in this car, but compared to like our car in the F1, it's nowhere near. You know what I mean? Scraping the curb a bit there. It looks like we've got one or two more laps to do of this event thing. I don't know if we are going to do it, boys. We are running out of time. We've got extra 15 seconds there. We're almost at the distance. 10 seconds left to get 0.3 kilometers. Are we going to do it? 5 seconds, there we go. We have hit the target distance. And we are still going round. I don't know why, because we've hit the target. Do we just stop? Can we just stop? Or can I don't know what is going on here, but there we go. That is the end of the event. very easy, you know, it wasn't anything too hard. Quick bit of XP and cash for us there. Nice to drive a different car, you know, get a feel for a different car rather than our own. Okay boys, here we are at the race weekend for the China Grand Prix. You can see the track on the screen there. Let's get right into this one. Alright people, here we are, the first round of qualifying for the 2020 Chinese Grand Prix. We did a few laps on practice there, and it is a difficult track, especially that first turn and the second turn, and turn 12 and 13 as well. Very tricky to keep your traction going around those corners, and you know, it is a very difficult track to handle. But we are going to go straight out now, get a few laps in, hopefully avoid any collisions, and let's see what time we can set. We did have hard tyres on during the practice. We were about 15th, I think, for best lap in the practice. We've got these soft tyres on here. Let's see what can happen. I don't know who that is behind us. I think that might be a Red Bull. I hope it's not Verstappen, because he'll probably smack me on the way past. But yeah, a nice little straight coming through the finish line here. Build up some nice speed. This turn is so horrible. If you hit it too wide, there's so much time to be lost. Right there, and we took it nice with the throttle control. Second turn could have been better, but we come out of it. Not too bad. We'll definitely fix that up on the second lap of qualifying here. Oh, we've overshot that corner again. The corners on this track are so difficult to handle, and they just creep up on you out of nowhere, like this one again. It's such a bendy, windy track. It's going to be a poor lap time. We go off the track there. It's going to be a poor lap time. But Grosjean set the fastest lap, our rival. We can't allow that to happen. Yeah, it is Verstappen behind us as well. Oh, I bloody knew it. I knew it. Let's hope he doesn't hit us. Lando Norris with the new fastest lap there. Yeah, so like I said, we're just doing the usual here with the practice. We'll do 2 or 3 laps. On the qualifying, sorry, not the practice, 2 or 3 laps, and then we will just get straight into the actual race. Verstappen is looking to overtake us here on this straight. I'm going to give him my slipstream. Hopefully he can go for a clean overtake as we come back into this horrible 180-degree turn, and we are now approaching the finish line again. It looks like he's going to stay behind me as we come through this last straight, or he might get the overtake on this straight here with the DRS zone active. Let's see, Verstappen's at the fastest lap there behind us with a 1:36. We had a 1:38, which isn't too shabby. I think we might have been faster than Grosjean there. Yeah, we were faster than Grosjean and George Russell. That's what we love to see. As long as we beat Grosjean, we're very happy, because obviously he's our rival. We want to get those extra points in. We've had a better start to this lap. 1 lap of fuel remaining, so this is going to be our last lap of qualifying. Can we make it a good one? A nice turn again there. I'm just worried about Verstappen in the rear view, you know, because all it takes is him to go for an aggressive overtake, and our race is over. We're actually pulling away from Verstappen now. I don't know if he's got an issue with the car, he's running out of fuel, or if he's just taking it easy, trying to create some space between, obviously, our car and his, so he can go for a quick lap on his next lap. But yeah, we do seem to be pulling away. We could be in for a really good time here, boys. Obviously, as we approach the finish line again, Verstappen has gone to the pit, so maybe there was a problem with the car. We have set a new best time for ourselves with a 1:38. It isn't the fastest though. That puts us into 8th. Obviously Hamilton and all of them guys haven't come out yet. Very bad corner there, but we are out of fuel, so we are just going to pit and take the 1:38.3 as our qualifying lap. We will see where that does bring us, and we'll see where Boccolacci has got on the grid as well, as we get bumped there from man like Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, let's see the standings at the end of Q1 there. Where did we come? 18th, so we did miss out on moving on to Q2, as did Boccolacci, who did come second to last, just in front of the stinker Nicholas Latifi. a lot more realistic in terms of lap times here. You see me and Boccolacci are a lot closer together than previous races. So we are going to start 18th on the grid by the looks of it, if there's no penalties. Yeah, let's get into the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and, of course, down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton.
Here we are on the grid. Hamilton and Bottas first and second. That's to be expected as always, you know. Obviously third and fourth with Leclerc and Verstappen. I'm sure Vettel will be in there somewhere as well. Oh, it doesn't look like he is. Where's Vettel? Where's Sebastian Vettel? A 10 place penalty for Vettel down into 14th. Jeez. Which pushes us down to 17th as well. A 10 place penalty for Sebastian Vettel there, that's a madness. Boccolacci, my guy, with a 19th place. Grosjean with a 10 place penalty. And Lance Stroll as well with another 10 place penalty. These people were going crazy in qualifying then. If there's 3 people with a 10 place penalty, that's mad. But yeah, let's get into the race. Alright people, here we go. As always, the race strategy is to just try and keep our front wing intact as we go into turn 1, which we have struggled with a lot recently. When we get through the middle there, we find a gap to try and create some space, but this first turn is lethal. I'm expecting to see some crashes as we scrape the back of Vettel's car there. It's a madness this first turn. We have kept the front wing though, which is what you love to see. We've struggled to do that in the previous few races. Keep hold of our front wing after turn 1. We've got someone right behind us there. Activate that overtake button to try and pull away. Late on the brakes and we smack Vettel. Bit of carbon fibre flying off the car there. Not too much damage though to the car. But we can't afford... Oh, we've gone way too wide on that corner there. We can't afford to go and get that front wing changed, so we can't afford any more damage to it. Kimi Raikkonen in front of us here. We're trying not to rear end Raikkonen as we're trying to fend off George Russell at the same time. It's a crazy start to the Singapore Grand Prix. Not much overtaking going on. Like, we're all up here together in like a single file line in a big pack. I'm sure once we get to that straight towards the end of the lap, that is when we will see some overtakes happening. Let's try and slap our overtake button on and try and catch while we are on this straight here. Raikkonen is just flying ahead though. And we're late on the brakes there. We try to take the inside and we have tapped Vettel again, but we have got the overtake on Vettel. We have tapped him, but we have got the overtake. Our front wing is now damaged in the orange category, which is going to make things like that a lot more harder, just a little bit harder. And obviously Vettel and Raikkonen there trying to fight back and gain that position that they did have on me to begin with, but we are going to try and hold them off. That turn 1 again, it's always lethal. It's not about speed, it's about controlling the traction as you go around into the left turn, riding the curb a bit there. if we do take any more damage on that wing, we will have to go and get it changed. But right now, so far so good. You know, we're up into 15th. We have Sebastian Vettel behind us, though he's obviously a class driver. So I'm not expecting to be in this position for too long. There's a new strategy available there. I'm not too sure what the new strategy actually is, because like it's the same strategy, one stop on lap 5. We're just going to keep it the same. Vettel obviously riding us there. As soon as DRS does get activated, I'm sure he will be able to overtake us in those DRS zones. Obviously with that Ferrari power unit and the Ferrari vehicle in general, he's got a much more powerful vehicle than the YSK racing cars. But we are pulling away from him on the straight. Let's fucking have it, Vettel. What are you saying, lad? Obviously coming into lap 3 very shortly, and DRS will be active soon. But we are trying to catch on Giovinazzi, who is in front of us right now, and Magnussen in front of him. Bottas setting another fastest lap. Bottas flying around there, a lot faster than our lap, which is a madness. 1:38 he set, and our best lap was a 1:50. Okay, now it's 1:40. DRS is active. This first turn again, we've took it quite poorly. Can we come out onto the left better than the right? No, the left's even worse than the right. But can we use some of this ERS to try and catch Giovinazzi? We've braked late to try and gain some track on him, and we have got it. I'm sure there's a DRS zone coming up soon, which might give us an advantage if we can stay within that 1 second split time to him. Oh, we've overshot this corner heavy, showing the inside to Vettel there. We can't do that again, otherwise he will capitalise on that. Just going easy on the throttle control there. Jumping the curb, going off the track, giving Vettel a lot of chance to try and make the move on us and get past us, which is inevitable, but you can try and hold him off for as long as possible. I'm not too sure if this is just my driving or if this is the front wing damage causing all these, you know, overshooting the corners and whatnot. But we do have the DRS zone. Vettel will overtake us now. As you can see, we're going to try and slip into his slipstream. Maybe try and go for the overtake on the corner. He's blocked us off on the inside. Great move from Vettel there, covering the inside so we couldn't make that move. And we have got Kimi Räikkönen right behind us as well, trying to make a play on us. But we're not going to allow that to happen, are we, Kimi? DRS zone to try and catch up to Vettel. It's getting tense, boys. Kimi Räikkönen is right up our rear end now. It looks like he's making the move inside. Great overtake from Räikkönen there. You've got to give it to the guy. What a great overtake that is. And we're trying to make that move ourselves. I did want to go on the outside on there around that bend, but it was just too tight of a bend to be able to make a play like that. Oh, it's tense, boys. It is tense. I'm just glad that we haven't lost our front wing yet, and our mobility in the car is still sound. Let's get some of this ERS burnt out so we can try and catch Kimi as we get into the straighter parts of the Chinese Grand Prix. Once we have got round those first few bends, which are the horrible parts of this windy track. Now we do have Romain Grosjean behind us by a second as well, who's trying to make up ground on us, but we can't allow that to happen. Grosjean is our rival, of course, and we don't want him to get anywhere near us, because the chances are he'll probably spin us out and ruin our whole race. The RS zone now. Sainz has gone into the pit, as well as Albon. A good few people have gone into the pit, actually. They've pitted early there. Good race strategy. We've overshot that completely, because we're looking at the top left there, the leaderboards. Something that you absolutely can't do on F1 2020 is take your eyes off the road, because as soon as you do that, you do end up just losing positions, losing ground. But yeah, we are going to pit next lap, I do think. We do just want to get that pit out the way so we can just race for the rest of it. I'm sure Räikkönen and Vettel and all the people in front of us probably will pit early as well. Or Vettel might just try and make up the ground, actually. But of course, Carlos Sainz, Bottas, I think, a few others did go into the pits there, who will make up that ground, obviously, once the rest of the pack does go into the pits themselves. Grosjean right behind us there. We can't allow Grosjean any room for an overtake. Or we might have to give him room, actually, because if we don't give him room, he'll just end up taking us out. Because he's that shit. Nice take on that corner there. Let's use some of this ERS. Try and close the ground on Raikkonen, who is flying ahead. I don't know how Raikkonen is flying ahead so much when the gap between us was 1 second. Obviously, like you say, these corners, if you overshoot them and take a corner bad, then, you know, you just lose so much time on the people in front of you, and there's not much there's not many places on this track to be able to keep that, to be able to gain that time back, you know. It looks like, I don't know who this is in front of us, maybe it's Raikkonen as well, who's coming to the pits. There's quite a lot of us in the pits here, as you can see, in the top left. A lot of us are coming in. There's a lot of people on the right hand side there, as you can see already, with their teams off. I don't know who that is in the AlphaTauri in front of us, but they have just nearly took us out completely. Didn't check the mirrors as they pulled out. He did set a new front wing on me. I didn't ask them to. I didn't want that. 7.5 seconds. It's faster than the last time we had front wing change. But yeah, so here we are out on the medium tyres. This is us till the end of the race now. We are dead last in 22nd. Can we run a good race and get past George Russell and Grosjean here? Yeah, the problem I'm having with these races is that the first turn or the first lap, I'm completely damaging the front wing. So when I do go into the pits and they change it, obviously it takes a while to change your front wing compared to just doing the 4 tyres. So we are losing a lot of ground there due to the time that we are taking in the pits, which is something that I as a driver need to work on. You know, that is just down to my driving skills on this game. That is nothing to do with anything else. But hopefully we can run a good race here. Obviously about 7 or 8 laps left, and we do want to overtake the few people that are on in front of us. The few little stinkers, George Russell. I don't know how Latifi is doing well in this race either, because he's a stinker. But we are looking to catch George Russell here. We've got ERS activated. The DRS zone's coming up. We've got his slipstream. There's the DRS zone. Get some more of that slipstream. He's trying to run us off the track, but we have got the overtake as we slot in right in front of him. And now we are coming for Romain Grosjean. Grosjean, you are next. We're trying to pull away from George Russell here, create some gap, create some distance. And it looks like we are going to catch Grosjean very soon as well. DRS, can we get him on the straight? Boccolacci is flying ahead of us. Let's see, how can we handle this right hand turn? We've got the inside there. Grosjean has cut it off. A bit of traffic between Grosjean and Stroll in front of him there as well. Sebastian Vettel is out of the session. Vettel has crashed. I don't know if there is going to be a yellow flag out or even a safety car. It doesn't look like it was a bad crash. Or even maybe he just retired, you know. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get some information on that later on in the race. Okay, so the yellow flag is gone. We can resume racing, and we're trying to catch up to Grosjean here, who of course has Lance Stroll in front of him. And I'd love to overtake the two of these before the end of the race. That would be ideal, because I just don't like these two as drivers. Well, I like Grosjean as a person, just not as a driver. And I just don't like Lance Stroll as a person. Let's see, DRS, ERS, getting some slipstream there. We're going on the outside. Braking late coming into the turn, and we have made the move on Grosjean there. A nice play from us to get that overtake without any contact. Let's get another DRS and ERS combination here as we try and catch up to Lance Stroll, close that ground. He isn't too far ahead of us, but we do have this horrible right hand turn coming up, which we have just gone onto the grass because I did just look at the map. Kevin Magnussen in front of Stroll there. We've got a few cars in front of us here actually. There's a bit of traffic, you know. Let's see if we can get some speed coming out of this. We've got the ERS overtake button on, trying to catch up to Stroll. I haven't been changing my fuel mix which I probably should have been doing through this race as we go for the overtakes. In fact, we are going to slap it up to Rich now and try and catch Lance Stroll here. I'm driving a very poor race. Grosjean might be catching us soon. We've got a very low supply of ERS left available to us, so we are going to try and reserve some of that for the upcoming laps. Try and build that up for a bit as we try and catch Lance Stroll here, and we make the play on the outside of Stroll. We're going wheel to wheel with him. DRS zone coming up, and he's just beat us. We've ran out of ERS. Can we just make that play in behind him, get the slipstream? Coming into the corner. Oh, we nearly make contact there. Stroll has the inside. We have the outside. And we've come away with the position, it looks like. Yes, Stroll is behind us. We are coming up on Magnussen now, who is in 15th place. We are climbing. We've got DRS and slipstream again. Get some ERS on. Boccolacci is behind us, but we are coming into the right-hand turn, as everyone knows already about this turn. We're going to try and take it inside to try and get some ground on Magnussen, with Raikkonen and Perez in front of him too. It's very close. It's very close at the back of the grid here. It is very, very close. Nearly making. We do make a bit of contact with Magnussen there. Some carbon fibre does come flying off. Hopefully that doesn't make too much of a difference to the car. It's just minor damage. Hopefully it doesn't take too much of an impact to us. We are just trying to focus, run a nice clean race here as the DRS zone comes up. 5 laps of fuel remaining. There is 5 laps left in the race. That is sound. We're not gaining much ground. We could have tried to make a play on the inside there, but we do just want to avoid any contact, like I do say. Yeah, we do have 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps left in the race. Let's try and make this ground. Can we get a top 10 finish? It doesn't seem likely, but we could climb up the rankings a bit here, you know, as we take the turn a bit too far wide. That's a very nice take on that turn there from us. Just using the throttle control a little bit here and there. The engine's showing some minor wear. We are losing power. That is not good. That is not a good message. That is not what I wanted to hear, especially when Lance Stroll and Romain Grosjean are right behind me. And I can feel the impact of that power loss already as we try and climb the places on Kevin Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and I don't know who that is, Giovinazzi in front of Kimi Raikkonen there. Once again, we are just trying to build up this ERS so we have a chance of catching these people coming into the last few laps. Once we get a nice amount, we will use that when we see fit. Can we catch Magnussen here? We are closing the ground. We've got the ERS activated, the DRS activated. Can we close the ground? Can we make a play coming into this corner here? If we can get some good speed, and he does cover us, he does fend us off well there, Kevin Magnussen. A very nice driver move from Kevin Magnussen there to fend off the overtake. But of course, we are going to keep fighting until the end to make that play on Magnussen and get that 15th place from him and try and catch up to the 2 AlphaTauri cars, or Alfa Romeo cars, sorry, in front of Magnussen. Oh, we've took major damage there to the front wing, slamming into the back of Magnussen. We've took substantial damage there to the front wing on the left hand side, which is always the place where I do take damage. And now it doesn't look good for us in this race, boys, as Magnussen is pulling away. And Lance Stroll makes a move there on us on the inside. We've gave him a lot of track to work with, and Lance Stroll gets the overtake, and it looks like Grosjean wants to come in there as well. A late break, a late entrance to that corner there, and we fend off, we get the place, we overtake Lance Stroll and fend off Grosjean there. But it's not looking good for us, boys, it really isn't. You know, they're catching us, they're right behind us catching. Our front wing is damaged. Magnussen is just climbing away. We're losing power in the engine. It's a terrible last few laps here for us in the Chinese Grand Prix. Hopefully we can get a bit of magic, a bit of luck. That's all we need, and we can see through till the end of this race. We take those 2 corners there quite nicely, if I do say so myself. 3 laps of fuel remaining, and we do have 2 laps left in the race. That means we can afford to up our fuel mix when we do see fit. We'll just throw it up to rich right now. Actually, we don't have that much in excess actually, so we will leave it on standard. Lance Stroll has come in now. Lance Stroll is coming to try and take our place. We've overshot that corner again to try and fend them off, and we're doing very nice doing that move. Stroll and Grosjean really want to overtake me this race, but I'm not going to allow it. I am fighting for my life for this place here. Where is he going? He's going on the outside. Stroll in the Racing Point car, just faster, just faster. Can we cut him off in the corner? We absolutely can. We absolutely can. This is a crazy battle here for 16th and 17th place with Lance Stroll. This one's going to go right to the final lap, I can tell. Stroll has backed off a bit though. He did take a bit of damage crashing into the back of us. I don't know how substantial that damage is for Stroll, but as you can see on the map at the bottom, we are flying ahead now of Stroll and Grosjean. I don't know what the level of damage to his car was. A yellow flag out here on turn 1 and turn 2. But yeah, Stroll is catching us there. Kimi Räikkönen has gone off the track. It looks like Kimi Räikkönen has had to retire. Yes, he's out of the session, Kimi Räikkönen. I'm not sure what happened to him there. Whether there was a malfunction with his car. But we have moved up into 15th place now because Räikkönen is out of the race. Let's try and gain some ground on the cars behind us. I don't think we have the time to catch Kevin Magnussen there, who is up in 14th. But 2 huge losses in this race, you know, Sebastian Vettel, the Ferrari man, and the former Ferrari man, Kimi Räikkönen, retiring from this race early, and we are looking in a good position coming into this final lap eventually. But Lance Stroll is right up our rear end again. Charles Leclerc with a new fastest lap on the 13th lap of the race. Lance Stroll has been very good so far this race at capitalising on my mistakes. When he sees space, he does take it. And he will have a DRS zone as well as Grosjean, which isn't what we like to see. They will be able to catch some ground on us there, make up some ground. Let's go, boys. Can we do it? Can we get 15th in this race and fend off Lance Stroll and Grosjean and whoever that is behind Grosjean? Final lap of the race. Come on. Very poor in turn 1 and 2 there from us. Very poor turn 1 and 2 from us. Lance Stroll has overtook us there. We try and send up the inside there on Lance Stroll, and we have done it. There's a bit of a collision, but we've made a nice move there to get the overtake on Lance Stroll. Let's see, can we try and create a bit of a gap between us? Because obviously he's still right behind us now. Our front wing is damaged. He's coming up the outside. I think that's Grosjean in there as well, right behind us. It's going to go down to the last second in this lap. Race winner there, Valtteri Bottas, has saw the checkered flag. Boccolacci is coming to join in with the 3 of us here as well. It's so tense, this race. We're low on fuel. Our front wing is damaged. The tyres are worn out. Let's see, can we see it through? Get some ERS in. Try and create a bit of a gap between us and Lance Stroll, who does seem to catch us very easily on these straights. I'm not sure what engine the Racing Point cars do run with, but it seems to be a lot more powerful than our Honda engine. I'm just hoping that Racing Point don't use a Honda engine as well, and I've just looked stupid there. But yeah, let's try and create some gap here. Let's see if we have any extra fuel left we can use and just go all out. Checkered flag is out. And then we are across the line. I didn't even clock. We are across the line. 15th there in the Chinese Grand Prix. You know, that was a very fun race. That was a very good race. We saw it through to the end. Driver of the day was Lance Stroll, and luckily we did finish in front of Stroll and Grosjean there. That was a tough fight. Tough fight. But we did see it through till the end. Great race there. I actually proper enjoyed that one, you know. Look at that. Bottas with the win. I'm sure Hamilton will be 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, look at that. I think that's 2nd there for Hamilton. You know, Mercedes, it's just unfair. It just really is. Like, they're just too good.
Now let's take a look at the drivers.
Okay, let's take a look at the standings. Bottas, obviously, and Hamilton at the top there. We did come in 15th place after starting 17th on the grid. Of course, we did have Raikkonen and Vettel, obviously, fell out of the race and I had to retire. Boccolacci there in 18th. You know, he's climbing, he is getting better. Boccolacci finishing in front of the 2 Williams cars there, and obviously the 2 DNFs. Yeah, overall good race. You know, we are getting better, we are improving the car, and we're just going to keep climbing, boys, until we are at that #1 place and winning trophies and championships. We have the rivalry breakdown. We're gaining a few points on Grosjean there. Have that, you wanker. The team has leveled up to level 5 there, and we don't complete the Atlantic bonus, of course, because like 75 laps in one weekend is just too mad to complete. Like, that is an actual madness. We probably shouldn't have picked that sponsor. I didn't realise the bonus you got every week. I thought the bonus was just a one-time thing. But Atlantic are giving us the highest weekly wage, and I do believe we can sign another secondary sponsor now that we are Team Acclaim level 5. Actually, let's check that out. Let's see. So if we go across to corporate, we can actually hire another secondary sponsor. Now let's see. A&F qualifying P10 or better for 161k. Now P10 is a bit out of our range at the moment. Let's just sort by weekly income. Let's see. Achieve and hold first position for 2 laps. That is very difficult to do. Achieve and hold first position for 4 laps. That's even harder to do. Is there anyone with a realistic goal? Score 10 Constructors' Championship points in a race weekend. That is quite hard. Achieve a top 10 finish during a race. Let's see, top 12 finish during the race, qualify P10 or better, achieve fastest lap. You know what, top 10 and top 12, these are the most likely ones that we are gonna get. At the current state, I'd probably say P12 is more realistic than P10. There is only a 9 grand difference in the goal bonus, you know. So I think we are gonna go with Painit, or however you pronounce it, Panite. Alright, boys, before the end of this episode, we are going to go across to the R&D tree and take a look at what we can complete here. Let's see, the morale of the durability department is poor, and I'm not sure why that is. I did make a comment in one of those interviews about the durability department, but I thought it was going to boost it, and it turns out it's actually lowered the morale in that section. So we do have a bit of resource points that we can invest in here. So should we go for aerodynamics or go for another chassis upgrade? Let's see, tire wear, or we can get weight distribution. You know what, we are going to go with this weight distribution one for the energy store cells positioning. Hopefully this does. In fact, can we afford this top one? No, we can't. That's a bit too out of our league. So we are going to go with this one. Hopefully it doesn't fail like the last few have. 40% chance of failing though. We'll see in due time. Now, that is going to be it for this episode, boys. Obviously, the Dutch Grand Prix is next on the calendar. A few more things on the calendar there with a press interview in between. But yeah, so if you did enjoy this episode, please smash like on the episode. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. But I'm sure everyone watching this is already subscribed. The loyal viewers, you know who you are. Yeah, man. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next video, boys. Take it easy.